everyone, it's Cindy. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm getting started on a new journal. This is Esther Reed Yet Speaking from 1890. It's a pansy book. So I've taken, hold on, I'll show you. I've taken the spine out of it because it was too little, but I am going to use it in some way. These are the assets for this journal that I've currently collected. So what I want to do today is finish creating the new spine, and I thought I would share the process with you. So I've taken the two sides of the book cover. I'll probably start to pick away at this a little bit more. We'll see. It may not require that. Yeah, you know what? I don't really think it does. So this is front cover, back cover, and I cut this bookboard spine yesterday, and I coffee stained. First I inked it, then I coffee splattered it. Then I had this. I did the same thing. I inked and coffee splattered it. So the two of them are in alignment. So what I would like to do now is I want to create a fun spine that will have this on the front of it. And I want to keep these two lacy bits attached. So I'm just going to kind of like center that when I put it on. So I've colored this, but you're not really going to see a whole lot of it. So I'm just going to cover the spine with a bit of glue here. Let's grab my glue book. So we're just going to use glue stick. Reason why is because this is going to the sewing machine. These kind of projects for me, I always feel like I need stitching. I don't want to mess around with glue and dealing with the sticky, Fabri-Tac, all the weighting involved. I also like the stitching itself. Okay, so now we will get this on here. Just kind of center that, bring it to, just going to put this lace at the middle point. So you can pull it down a little bit. You're going to see a little bit of spine through both ends of the lace. And then when I cut this, after I've stitched it, I am going to keep those two bits, I think, on. I may tuck them under. Now, what I need to do is stitch this on. Then I need to decide how I want this to be. I obviously don't want to cover, this like that. That would be horrible. But that would be cool on the inside, except then you'd have the back, not the front, and that's not ideal. So I'm probably going to end up just cutting this and using something different on the inside and then making use of these bits, potentially as pockets or something else in the journal, possibly on the front, like the fly page or whatever, not fly page, end papers. I could use them as pockets on the end papers. So what I'll do now, I'm going to head on over to the sewing machine and stitch this on. I shall be right back. Okay, so this is stitched on, and I chose this pretty mauvey pink kind of color, like a dusty pink. So just snip that off so you can see I've stitched that. And on back we have black so that you can see it. I went off a little here. That's okay. Not a big deal. So what I'm going to do now is trim right here, kind of in a straight, in a straight line, not kind of. I always say kind of, because it doesn't have to be, a ruler straight or anything. So I just want this little bit here. And the reason, I think, I'm going to put just a titch of this on here, because I think that would look really cute to have a little bit of it there. So I'm going to do that in a second, but I'll explain to you how I'm going to do that. So now we just need to cut again here. And we're just going on the outside of that end lace piece because I don't want to lose any of that lace. Because of how the embroidery is hand done, it's not exactly the same on both ends. So we've got to be a little bit careful there. Then the other thing I'm going to do is just, well, you know what? I may not trim that because I might decide I want to pull this way. So Yeah, I might just leave it for now. We'll see. There's no need to deal with it immediately. So my next step here, I've got these two little bits, right? So the next thing that I need to do is I want to set up my cover so that it's correctly positioned to be, you know, on this book. Now, I do things maybe a little differently than people. I don't know, everyone does things different ways, but I leave about not quite a 1/4 inch between my spine and my book, and I'm actually going to sew this on my sewing machine in the same way that I just did this. And the reason is because I like the neatness that it gives to like the fabric. I find like when it's just glued on, it doesn't look as neat to me as it could. So I want to make it like look intentional. Now, the other thing you can do is you can choose to like put some kind of extra ribbon or something over the edge of this, or, you know, you can just tatter it, right? And that will look nice too. But I want to stitch mine, because I'm a little stitch happy most days. I love stitching. So let's line this up here and just take a look and see how it would look overlapping. Very cute. Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to give a bit of glue on each side of my book cover here on the outside. There's another whole way to put your fabric on the inside, but that's not for today. I do both. It just depends on the book and how I see it kind of coming together. So let's just get this one aligned first. And don't use too much glue, because you don't want it seeping out on your book. Okay. Good. Then over here, same thing. Pop it underneath there, and you got a little wiggle time, so don't stress. Whoops. Okay. All right, there we go. So now I'm just going to sort of press this for a moment and let it dry. And then I'll head back to the sewing machine, because I want to now do some stitching on this to make it look the way I want it to look. I may just tatter it this a bit. I'm probably gonna add a little more ink to this. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm thinking I want to cover the cover, and then I want to do a little bit of spraying with like a very nice light sky blue type ink, because I love like a light blue with these pinks and reds. So we'll see, but I'll just let this dry a little, and then I'll head over to the sewing machine, and we will get this all attached together the way that I want it to look, and I will come back and show that to you. Okay, so we are back from stitching. So what did I do? I stitched down the inner like little bit of the fabric on both sides. So then I had, you know, the line from the spine and then the parallel line from stitching it onto the book. And then I decided to use one of my favorite leafy stitches on my machine to go up the middle and then back down. So now what I want to do is I need to clip away all of the threads, get rid of all that. Okay. Then on the outside as well. So many threads. Okay. Then there's a little bit of cleaning up that I also want to do here. I just want to trim a little bit of this away, because it gets a little wider right in this one area. Okay. And then maybe we'll see if we can do any fraying, any more fraying. Not going to a ton of effort to fray, just a little. And then we'll leave those a little bit long, but not like super long. And over here, same thing, just with your fingernail, just kind of pulling a few threads, because they will come loose until that line of pink stitches where we've, you know, fastened it. And then you can decide if you want to leave the ones on the front long or not. But that is fun. And so here is what the front of the book will look like. The spine and the back. So now I need to decide, what do I want to do with these? I have a couple options. So one, I can bring it down like so, and that would be nice and neat. I could also leave it out, and I could cut, you know, around here, and that would just stay sticking out. And then we could bring the bottom up, or yeah. So, you know, I think I just really do want to put them on the inside. I think that'll look nice, especially because we'll do like a hidden hollow back, and then that will hide this on the hollow back part, right? Because when you do a hidden hollow back, you can see a little, like the top of the inside. So if you don't put anything there, it's going to be visible, and that may not bother you. Some people put paper, some people put a little bit of lace at the top, like a little, you know, just like in a traditional book sometimes where you see that little colored line there that's like the top of the binding, kind of. I forget the name. It's like a little collar, but yeah. It's too early for my brain to remember the name of what I'm talking about, so let's just pretend we all know what I'm saying. Okay, so that's that. Now, we do still probably want to put a bit of cheesecloth in the middle here. You can also use tape. Does not matter. I'm thinking that's a pretty firm, good, you know, spine anyways. I probably don't need much of anything, but I will put a little of my contractor's masking, just because I can, I guess. I don't really need to. I'm gonna clip it off though, just need to hurry because this stuff actually sticks pretty fast, this contractor stuff. Just to cover the stitches, why not? Give it one more layer of oomph. You can also use like Tyvek tape or skate tape, hockey tape, brown packaging tape, the stronger stuff. Duct tape's okay, but I find duct tape doesn't stick that well. Sometimes it depends on the duct tape. I don't know. I haven't yet found a reasonable understanding of like the good versus the bad in duct tape. I rarely use it. So there we go. That is the spine put into this book. So I'm going to be doing more with this book. I have quite a few ideas about this cover. It's not done yet. I have a little more I want to add to it. That's why I've kept this as simple as I have, because I kind of want to add maybe a couple of hand stitched on pansies or something to just kind of add to the appeal. But I've got to get some more materials ready for this book so that I understand kind of the direction I want it to take. But that is our spine. So hopefully, you know, you took something away from this and it was helpful to you to understand, like, how can I preserve a lovely old book and its spine has just gone by the wayside. Now, another thing you can do along the same lines here is, let's say you didn't have, you know, some piece of fun, you know, fabric like that. You can use any kind of fabric, including something totally plain, like a piece of white cotton, which you can stain with oxide. You can, you know, dye with RIT dye or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You can mordant it. You can eco print it, whatever. Then, or use like a quilting cotton and do the same essentially thing that I've done here. But then maybe you want to make it fancier because you don't have a nice piece of fabric and you want to put the spine back on. Well, guess what? You can literally stitch right around the spine and it's back. So that is another option, and it will look very nice, and you'll be able to have that wider spine that you want, but still respect that beautiful old spine. Now, please don't fret about this spine. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm going to use it inside the journal, you know, either like a bookmark or a belly band or something. I always try to pay, you know, credit where credit's due on these kind of old books. So I think that's probably enough for today. I will talk to you all again very soon, and I hope you liked this little look at putting in a spine. Take care. Bye for now.